Good Friday is one of the most significant days in the Christian faith. It is the day that marks the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, moment in history that represents sacrifice, love, and redemption on the deepest level. At first glance, it may seem strange that such a painful and tragic event is called good. This was the day Jesus was betrayed, beaten, and ultimately crucified on a cross. It was a day filled with suffering, loss, and sorrow for those who followed him. But the meaning of Good Friday goes far beyond the pain of that moment. According to Christian belief, Jesus willingly gave his life as a sacrifice for humanity. Though innocent, he took on the weight of sin and endured suffering so that forgiveness and reconciliation with God could be made possible. What looked like defeat was, in reality, an act of love unlike any other. Good Friday is a reminder of that love, a love that chooses sacrifice, a love that gives without condition, a love that remains, even in the face of rejection and suffering. It is also a day of reflection. It invites people to pause and consider their own lives, their actions, their choices, and their need for grace. It highlights the idea that no one is beyond forgiveness, and that new beginnings are always possible. Historically, the crucifixion was meant to be an ending. For many, it seemed like hope had been lost. The one they believed in was gone, and the future felt uncertain. But that is not where the story ends. Good Friday exists as part of a larger story, one that moves from sacrifice to restoration. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there can be purpose. Even in pain, there can be meaning. It also speaks to the human experience. There are times in life that feel heavy, uncertain, or broken. Moments where things don't make sense, where hope feels distant. Good Friday reflects those moments, but it also quietly points beyond them. It suggests that darkness is not final, that what appears to be the end may actually be part of something greater unfolding. This is why the day is called good, not because of the suffering itself, but because of what it represents: the possibility of redemption, the power of sacrifice, and the promise that even the hardest moments can lead to something meaningful. Good Friday is not just about looking back at history. It is about understanding a message that still speaks today, a message of love, sacrifice, and hope. And in reflecting on that message, many find a deeper sense of perspective, purpose, and peace. Holy Saturday, the day of waiting. Holy Saturday is often the quietest and most overlooked day of the Easter story. Yet it carries a powerful and deeply human meaning. It is the day between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, the space between loss and victory, between grief and hope. After the crucifixion, Jesus had been laid in the tomb. For his followers, everything had changed. The hope they once held felt uncertain, and the future seemed unclear. It was a day filled with silence. Nothing appeared to be happening. There were no miracles, no visible signs, no clear direction, just stillness. Holy Saturday represents that in-between moment, the kind of moment many people experience in their own lives. It reflects seasons where things feel paused, unresolved, or uncertain. Times when the answers are not yet visible and the outcome is still unknown. It is the experience of waiting, and waiting is not easy. In a world that often values speed and certainty, waiting can feel uncomfortable. It can bring doubt, frustration, and even fear. When nothing seems to be changing, it is easy to believe that nothing ever will. But Holy Saturday offers a different perspective. Even in the silence, something was happening. Though it could not be seen, the story was still moving forward. What appeared to be stillness was not the end, it was preparation. It was a necessary part of what was to come next. This day reminds us that not all progress is visible. Not all change happens in ways we can immediately recognize. Sometimes growth happens quietly, beneath the surface, in ways that take time to unfold. Holy Saturday teaches patience. It encourages trust in the process, even when there is no clear sign of movement. It reminds us that uncertainty does not mean failure, and silence does not mean absence. There is purpose in the waiting. For many, this day becomes a reflection of their own lives. Those moments when things don't make sense yet, when outcomes are still unclear, and when faith or hope is being tested. But the message of Holy Saturday is steady and simple. Just because nothing seems to be happening does not mean everything has stopped. It is a reminder to remain grounded, to stay patient, and to trust that something greater may still be unfolding. Because this day, though quiet, is not the end of the story. It is the pause before something changes. And in that pause there is meaning, growth, and the quiet preparation for what comes next. Easter Sunday, the day of new life. Easter Sunday is the turning point of the Easter story. It is the day that represents victory, renewal, and the fulfillment of hope. After the sorrow of Good Friday and the silence of Holy Saturday, This day brings a powerful message. What seemed like the end was not the end at all. According to Christian belief, this is the day Jesus rose from the grave. The tomb that once held him was found empty. What had appeared to be defeat was transformed into victory, and what felt final was revealed to be only temporary. Easter Sunday is about new life. It is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, change is possible. That loss does not always have the final word. That something greater can emerge from what once seemed broken. For those who experienced it at the time, this moment changed everything. Fear turned into hope. Confusion turned into understanding. What once felt like uncertainty became clarity and purpose. And that message continues to resonate. Easter is not only about a moment in history, it reflects a deeper truth about life itself. There are times when situations feel final, when doors seem closed, and when hope feels distant. But Easter challenges that perspective. It reminds us that transformation is always possible, that new beginnings can come from unexpected places, that growth can rise out of difficulty, that what looks like an ending may actually be the start of something new. There is a sense of renewal that comes with this day. It encourages people to move forward, to let go of what holds them back, and to embrace the possibility of change. It speaks to the idea that no matter where someone is in life, a fresh start is always within reach. Easter Sunday carries a message of hope that goes beyond circumstances. It suggests that light can overcome darkness, that joy can follow sorrow, that life can emerge even after loss. This is why the day is celebrated with such meaning. It represents more than an event. It represents a promise, a reminder that no situation is too far gone, and no moment is beyond redemption. In many ways, Easter is an invitation to believe in new beginnings, to trust that things can improve, to hold on to hope, even when it feels difficult. Because at its core, Easter Sunday is about this simple but powerful truth. What feels like the end is often just the beginning. And in that truth, many find renewed strength, purpose, and hope for what lies ahead. Easter Monday, moving forward. Easter Monday is often seen as the continuation of Easter Sunday, but its meaning goes even further. It is not just about celebrating what happened, it is about what comes next. After the resurrection, life did not simply pause. It moved forward with a renewed sense of purpose, direction, and meaning. This day represents action. After the discovery of the empty tomb, the message began to spread. What was once confusion turned into clarity. What was once fear began to shift into boldness. The followers of Jesus, who had experienced doubt and uncertainty, now had a renewed sense of purpose. Easter Monday is about stepping into that new reality. It reflects the idea that after a breakthrough, after a moment of change or realization, there is a responsibility to move forward differently. It is not enough to witness transformation. You have to live it. This day carries a simple but powerful message. Don't stay where you were. The resurrection was not meant to be a moment that people simply observed and then returned to their old ways. It was meant to change how they lived, how they thought, and how they moved through the world. And that same idea applies today. There are moments in life where something shifts, where perspective changes, where clarity comes, where hope is restored. But what truly matters is what happens after that moment. Easter Monday reminds us to take that next step, to move forward with intention, to carry the lessons, the hope, and the meaning into everyday life. It encourages growth, action, and purpose. It is easy to feel inspired for a moment. It is easy to feel hopeful for a day. But lasting change comes from what you do after the feeling fades. This day challenges you to live differently, to let go of what no longer serves you, to step away from old habits, old mindsets, and old limitations, to move forward with clarity and confidence. Because if something has truly changed within you, your life should begin to reflect it. Easter Monday is about momentum. It is about not going backward, not staying stuck, but continuing forward with purpose. It is a reminder that new beginnings are not just moments. They are choices that must be made daily. So as this day comes to a close, the message is simple. Take what you've learned and move forward with it. Let today be the starting point, not the ending. And if there's one thing to carry with you, it's this. Don't just be inspired by change. Be someone who lives it. If this message meant something to you, take a moment to reflect on one area of your life where you can move forward starting today and commit to it.